All right, well, howdy back, all you folks. I was kind of halfway through filming another episode, and I've started doing a heap of V-dub work that I wasn't filming on, and so I thought, look, I may as well just bring you guys along for the ride on this and make a little, sub episode, we might call it. My young son, well, he's not so young anymore, but my son is back. Moved back into the neighbourhood. He's been travelling around the world doing what he loves to do, and it's circus performing. He's a circus performer, and I'm kind of making some space for him to keep all his stuff and do his own thing down in what used to be known as my overflow shed. So in the meantime from that, we've had to move Volkswagens. We moved a lot of Volkswagens around. There's a couple down there. The oval, my two ovals are sitting now under the bamboo, which is nice. I mean, they can't get any rustier, I don't think. 50 Shades is outside catching a bit of air. It'll go back in. The rat trap's kind of, it's got a new parking spot, which is right there. So we're kind of, surrounded by Volkswagens, which is, how I like to be. It is Father's Day, so we've kind of spent the day moving Volkswagens around, which is great, But in the meantime, look, I had to pull in one of the projects back inside. This is one that I can't just leave it outside because I've done too much work on it for it to just rust to get in under the primer and the bog, the filler. And, chatting a couple of times with my son, Barney, we decided that it might be a project that he wants to take on. And of course, you'll know this project from previous episodes. It is the chop. And look, I've got so many projects ahead of me that it's just down the list of ones that I'm going to have time to do. So he's decided he wouldn't mind having a cool little car, and because I have all the parts, for this car, I've got the engine and the exhaust and the lights and all that kind of stuff. He may as well build it and drive it and enjoy it, as it should be. This thing is probably going to be one of the most wild chops on the road in Australia. It's going to be an open wheeler, as we've discussed earlier. And we're just playing with some different wheel options because the wheels that were on this car are now on that car, and the wheels that were on that car were on this car but are now on that car. You probably get the picture. This is how I usually roll. But so Dani's basically, there's no restriction for wheel size on this car. That's what we've got to remember. I don't need to worry about guards clearance, but it will look better with a bit more rubber. So we're basically just about to jam these huge big things in the back there and see, do they fit, I guess is the first step. And funny, the inspiration, look at it up on the wall there. My mate Josh from Down Under Dubs, he gave me that poster because he said that's kind of right up my alley. And now look, beneath the poster is what we're building, is something that's right up my alley. Anyway, this is Dani. This is going to be his car. Probably see him more on the channel building this car. We're going to just do it quick. It's not going to be one of them long drawn out builds. We'll do it and then we'll fix it as it needs fixing. So that's the plan on this car. I've already done all the work on the pan. I've done the work on the chop. We've done everything that needs. I just need to basically bolt the pan down, put a motor in it, put some glass in it and drive the hell out of it. So let's get on with it. So I feel like these wheels are probably going to be pretty exciting to most of you people. It kind of looks like, look, what I'm looking at, I'm going to show you guys now. Boom. Just the rubber rake on it, like the size in the back. I knew I bought these wheels for a reason. Look at that. That's fully bagged out on this car. So remember, this thing is air ride. So that's full bagged out. And I mean, the size of that chunk on the back, it just gives it clearance, even bagged down. Wild. This thing is wild. So what we're going to do now, we're just going to, basically just to get us excited about, this project again. This is the 1776 that was an 1835 that was originally in the Baja, that is now turned into the 50 Shades project. Was in the rat trap for a fair while. It lived in there for a bit. Last time I tried to start it, it made some clattering noises, which I think are This has hydraulic lifters, so it will take a little bit of work to get this engine. I'm going to pull it down a little bit, but what we're going to do is just bolt the exhaust up to it, stab it in the back of there, so we can actually really get a picture of what this car is going to look like. Let's do it. The workshop's a mess as usual with me. Exhaust and stuff laying everywhere. What do you got? A 12 string?
Stonies. I don't want it in my room.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
I mean, you can probably see what we're aiming for here. So we got the carbs very tight to clearing on them manifolds, but look, I could definitely clearance those manifolds a bit if I had to. The other side isn't touching, so that's a good start. I will need a cover for the pulley. I've got one of those somewhere. You guys might not have seen one of these engines before. Inbuilt oil filter. This is what they call a CT1600. So this is the last air-cooled V-dub motor ever built. And it had a different oil cooler position. It was a pancake motor. Different oil cooler position, which I've got rigged up to a remote oil cooler. So basically the fan on this is not really, it's cooling the tinware, not cooling the oil cooler. Yeah, so the next thing we're going to do is just try and actually stab it in. And so then we've got a car sitting here that we can come and look at and go, right, yeah, this is a project. Let's work on this. Sometimes just the inspiration of a thing is what makes us work on it more. Darnie, chip off the old block once he gets stuck into something. It's hard to stop him, so, you know. Anyway, let's try and stab that in next. Set you guys up over here. I've forgotten what it's like having someone to help. Yeah. That can just go to the side. This we kind of want to poke. That needs to go over that axle as we're going in, and I don't know how we're going to do that. Might be able to just keep it to the side there.
Yeah, and then when we get closer, I'll throw it in right there.
Yeah, so we're going to kick that. So we'll pick up off here, kick the milk crate. And then those two bottom bolts go into those two holes there. Okay, holes there. Yep, I got that. That's a bit jammed now. Bring it up over the top if you can. It's stuck. I need to come out for a second. Okay. Come out. Yep, there you go. Yep. Stick that over the axle if you can. Yeah, that way. There you go. Now, so back into that hole. Okay. Oh my god, that was easy. Okay, just there, hold that. If you just support that, I'll get the 2 bolts that pop again. That's not supported. There. Yeah.
I have not chosen a good position.
Alright, I'm just going to go have some smoke out. See you in a sec. Oh, this was stupid. Okay. That's better. Okay, I've got to be able to reach my arm under there and get a bolt on that. Anyway, so this is what we're dealing with. I hope you guys can see the project and the idea of it. For now, we're going to leave this thing on the air ride pan. Might as well. It's on it, you know. It may as well. I don't have any time to be building that air ride car at the moment anyway. Like I said, I've got 3 other cars in front of it. So I'd love for someone to be, you know, driving it. And if it gives my son the bug, like literally gives him the bug, I'd be happy because, you know, there's worse things you can do with your life than playing with Volkswagens. So there it is. The chop is back on the block. So stay tuned. Probably see more of Darnie in here. You know, he might even film some of his own stuff. That would be cool. Anyway, thanks again for watching, and I'll catch up with you guys later.